Hello everyone and welcome back to another vlog. Today I'll be bringing you along with my friends and I to go to Kochi Prefecture for the first time for a little trip. We went for 3 nights and 4 days and we were able to pack in a lot of fun things to do, so I hope you enjoy. None of us had been to Kochi before and we spontaneously decided to go here one night when we were calling at midnight when JAL was doing a time sale on domestic flights. We thought it would be fun to choose a prefecture that we hadn't been to before and settled on Kochi. We arrived in the afternoon, picked up a rental car and headed straight to the Hirome Ichiba or Hirome market for some food. This indoor market is located just a short walk away from Kochi Castle and is a fun food market that both locals and tourists come to eat at.
美味しそう。エビシュリ美味しそう。絶対美味しい。絶対美味しい。あ、タコの唐揚げ買いたいそれ。絶対美味しい。みんな車で来てからお酒飲む。夜ご飯が超楽しみですね。
There are around 65 little shops that sell a variety of Kochi specialties, and you can just buy whatever food and drinks you want from individual stores and then sit at any of the tables that are set up in the middle. The food is all quite affordable and it's really fun walking around the shops and trying to decide what you want to eat. My friends and I split up for a few minutes as we grabbed a table and went to go find a few things to buy and bring back so we could eat it together. We got some seafood in various forms and some gyoza.
美味しそう。やばいやばい。超美味しそう。パリッて。
I love that even within Japan, there are so many dishes that you don't know exist until you visit certain areas. The main star of the feast, however, was the katsuo no tataki, which are seared bonito. This is said to be the soul food of Kochi as it has the highest consumption of katsuo in all of Japan, so we knew we had to try it. The outside of the fish is seared perfectly while the inside is still rare, and it's usually eaten with raw garlic and green onions. After our delicious meal, we walked around the area and decided to head somewhere for dessert.
どれあ、本当だ。
We found an ice cream shop called 21時に Ice, which means ice cream at 9 p.m. It's a shop that only sells ice cream and opens in the evening until midnight, which is a great concept since a lot of people want somewhere to eat something sweet late at night after dinner. Here is one of my friend's ice creams. She got the matcha warabi mochi ice cream. My other friend got the peach mascarpone and I got the mango mascarpone ice cream, and they were so good.
いや、こっちで合ってると思う。どこ？こっち。どうなってんの？あ、山道なんだこれ。ちょっと待って。
We didn't realize how dark the roads would get at night, and it was a struggle navigating our way to our hotel. And as someone who doesn't have a license, I was super grateful to my friends who drove us the entire trip. We stayed at a place called Kurado Tosawashi Kogemura Hotel, and it's actually a rest stop combined with a hotel. This place was a really interesting facility since you could book a room there like we did, or you can stop by while you are driving for a bite of food, souvenirs, or to do some of the activities they offer, which we ended up doing later on our trip. We decided to start the day early and go have morning, which is the term we use to refer to breakfast sets at cafes that are served in the morning, hence the name morning. Although morning culture is popular all over the country, We heard that it's the most famous in Kochi and that all of the cafes try to serve a very filling breakfast meal. We got to choose from several main bread options. I got a panini which came with a salad, soup, potatoes, coffee jelly, and fruit. And since they run a bakery as well, the bread was really good. Afterwards, we decided to pick up some bread to take back with us as well. To be honest, I love a good bakery anywhere in Japan. I feel like we do bread pretty well, and there's so much variety that you can get, so I always have fun browsing the different breads. We then headed to Katsurahama Park, and this is random, but there was this vending machine that sold diapers and baby wipes, which I thought was so nice. I don't see it very often, but I bet it's really helpful for parents on a trip. Anyway, this area is famous and leads to the Katsurahama Beach and Aquarium. You can also go see the statue of the local samurai hero Sakamoto Ryoma. The shopping area of this park was renovated very recently in 2022, and so it was very clean and pretty. We decided to look for some souvenirs here, and I love looking at all of the local specialties to bring back for families and friends. I especially liked this super fancy gallery and imokenpi shop. Kochi is also famous for imokenpi, which are these sweet potato snacks, but I've never seen them so nice, and I ended up getting this strawberry and coffee flavored imokenpi to bring back. There was a cafe that I really wanted to go to called Treehouse, and as you can tell, the cafe juts out over a hill and has windows all along the walls that looked out into the sea. It wasn't the best weather, and I think it would be breathtaking if you came on a sunny day, but I was still amazed at the view. We were also surprised at how empty it was. I'm so used to huge lines for any Insta-worthy cafes in Tokyo, but it was nice to just walk in and choose our favorite seat. I got the shrimp and squid spicy cod roe pasta, which was really good. After our late lunch, we headed back to the main area of the city and wandered around for a bit before heading into another cafe that we found. The first floor had some sweets, and then we were led upstairs to the sitting area. This menu was the most interesting and odd menu I had ever seen. I loved the little pictures, but it was also very confusing, and it seemed like they had this unique numbering system and different sets that you can combine with the drinks and sweets. But anyway, I ended up choosing a drink and sweets set, so I went to the first floor to pick out a plum cake, and I also got an apple cinnamon drink, which is really good. And my friend got this really interesting frothy milk tea, which I'd never seen before. It had really interesting texture. The next morning, we decided to do some kayaking since we were able to reserve one that goes on the river right in front of our hotel. It was so incredibly peaceful and felt so refreshing to be on the water and surrounded by so much greenery. Our guide was also a young woman close to our age, and she was so friendly and easy to talk to, so it was really fun listening to her stories.
めっちゃ赤かった。
やだよ。
赤い。
We then headed to one of the guide's recommended ramen shops for lunch, but it was full at the moment, so I killed some time walking around the area and admiring the gorgeous scenery from this bridge. It didn't take too long until we were called in for a table and we all got the small ramen with half fried rice set since we wanted to eat both, and it was so delicious. It was so simple but so good. After filling our stomachs, we drove to the Nikobuchi, which is a waterfall located on the Nyodo River, and it's famous for its super clear blue water that it even got the name Nyodo Blue. We noticed this handmade sign for a Treehouse cafe just about 15 minutes drive from where we were, so we decided to go check it out.
かわいい。
I didn't know at this time that this cafe would be one of my favorite memories from the trip.
こんにちは。
3人で、はい。
めちゃくちゃ良かったのは、
The super fun, unique thing about this cafe is that the shop manager is this 11-year-old girl who's the daughter of the woman running it, and she even had this adorable business card and like fan letters. It was so cute. The cafe itself was originally built by her grandfather as a place to play, but the family decided to turn it into a cafe, which I think is so sweet. It was one of the coziest cafes, not only because of the design, but it seemed like all of the customers were regulars and they were just so friendly, and we ended up playing with a bunch of the kids that were there, and it was just so wholesome and we didn't want to leave. I loved the entire concept, and of course the drinks and food were also delicious as well. And it was just such a nice memory that I know I'll treasure forever when I think of Kochi, and I definitely want to come back someday. We did unfortunately have to leave since we were going to have dinner at this restaurant called Katsurahama, which seemed very popular since there was a bit of a wait. This is a seafood restaurant, and you can see just how fresh the fish is as they're swimming around in the middle of the restaurant. While you're waiting, you can also see them steaming each individual rice. They pride themselves on their fresh and high quality ingredients, and it definitely showed since everything was so good. We ended up ordering katsuo for the third time so far on the trip, and I got the hitsumabushi set, which is grilled eel on top of rice. We were so incredibly full and everything was so good. I definitely recommend if you're going in Kochi to visit this restaurant. The next morning we did have to check out, but we didn't leave just yet since I really wanted to do one more activity that our hotel was offering. But first we went to the little shop nearby to grab a quick breakfast, and I ended up getting a bread filled with blueberry jam. As mentioned, one of the many activities that our hotel/rest stop facility was offering was traditional Japanese washi paper making, and we could make our own unique postcards with it. It was only 600 yen for 8 postcards that you can make and design from scratch. We had never done washi making before, but the instructor was very nice and taught us step by step, and it was really fun seeing it come to life. Making the actual washi part was much quicker than I thought, and after we got the base for our 8 postcards, we then moved on to designing and decorating each postcard.
すいません。ちょっとゆっくりしすぎましたね。
すごいで
ちょっと落ちた感じがしてました。
I loved that they prepared a ton of fresh flowers and leaves that you could cut to your heart's desire to place on your postcard, and after you finished, they would let it dry. This was another one of my favorite memories from the trip. I love stuff like this that are a bit creative, and I love anything to do with flowers and decorating, so we stayed here for a while working on our individual postcards. And here is how they turned out. These are my friends, and this is how my postcards turned out. I'm pretty proud of how they turned out, if I do say so myself, and I love the colors of the fresh flowers so much that I kind of wish there was a way to keep it as is, but of course it had to be made into an actual postcard, so they sent it to us a few days later, and here is the final product. We had some time before we needed to head to the airport, and we heard that there was a weekly Sunday market near the Hirome market, so we headed back to that area. This market is apparently Japan's biggest or longest open-air market, spanning 1.3 kilometers along a straight road. It's been occurring in Kochi for over 300 years, and hundreds of stalls line the road, and tons of locals and visitors come to try the food and buy produce or handmade crafts and buy some knickknacks. I love these kinds of markets in any city. I think it's a great way to appreciate and support the local community, and it's also just so fun looking at all the different booths and trying to decide what to buy or eat. We ate this Kochi street food specialty called hashimaki, which is basically an okonomiyaki wrapped around chopsticks. We decided to quench our thirst by getting some refreshing drinks. My friend got this red perilla juice, while my other friend and I got this freshly squeezed yuzu juice. We also managed to squeeze in one last katsuo meal, our fourth time on a 4-day trip, but that's how good it was. We also stopped by a coffee shop so that I could get a mint chocolate latte, and then we quickly headed to the airport, and before we knew it, we were on our way back to Tokyo. As always, thank you all so much for coming along. This was a bit of a longer vlog, but I didn't want to split it and had so much to show, so I hope you enjoyed. Shout out to my lovely friends for a great trip as always, and I hope you all got to know a little bit more about Kochi. I definitely want to travel to more prefectures in the future. There's just so many beautiful places in Japan that I haven't explored yet, so stay along for the journey.